All right, this is something that actually happened a while ago, but it like happened right after last time we met, so we missed it by a little bit. But development in this is that this student is being charged with assault because she pepper sprayed her teacher when he took her phone away during class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
You can't be on your phone in class.
That's right. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Wait, are you on opposing sides of this?
Right, I agreed with you and now I'm taking it back.
You can't be on your phone in class.
Well, yeah,
sure
he,
can.
he definitely was like,
What the fuck, Colleen?
Wait, what?
I'm sensing a rift between
she's
our
just gonna like be opposite of whatever you say from now on.
Don't you get this?
Yeah, so the teacher, it's an English class. This is in Tennessee, and he's like, all right, everybody put your phones away. This one girl did not want to do that, so he took it away. She went outside the room, knocked on the door, he opened it, and then she pepper sprayed him.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And then pepper sprayed him 3 different times in the hallway.
What?
It's all on video. It's like pretty crazy. She just kept
she's
like,
fucked up for sure, dude.
yeah, she just kept spraying him.
We gotta get on the same team here, okay?
Okay.
He took her phone. That's her property.
He just
Okay.
switches.
I like that you're taking this angle because the
You never
flip side
got-
is much easier to win here.
You never got anything taken away in class?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, like what?
And I wanted to fucking
What, your
beat
fucking,
their ass.
your fucking
dude.
squeeze workout thing? I took that away?
How did you know I used that?
Did you take your tennis ball?
My stress ball?
Yeah.
No,
For his back?
actually, I've never got anything taken away. Because I would never
Not
go on my
even
phone
your
in
fucking
class.
back massager cane?
I had like a vibrating one, a Theragun in class. In 2008 at a Theragun.
Before it even exists.
What? Prototype?
Yeah.
Oh man, he's so ahead of his time.
I mean, it's at least like, I don't know if things have changed, but that
I think
shit is
kids are
super
low.
common to me.
I think-
That you get
You
your
know
shit
what?
taken away.
I think kids
You
are
know
more
what I
entitled
think?
these days.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why she's.
I mean,
doing
that's
that type of
massive
shit.
entitlement, right?
Yeah.
Does it say how he took the phone away? Like, did he like slap her and then grab the phone?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that would make it a little bit
makes
different.
Pretty sure he didn't slap her.
We've seen some,
That changes the dynamic a little bit.
This is a common theme that we've been seeing. I'm sure this happens all across the world before media and all this shit. Like when we were in high school, where kids would like be other Game Boys and teachers would take it, and then they'd fight their teacher. I'm sure that happens.
Sure,
But
yeah.
We've been covering a lot of those stories where kids just get their shit taken from in class, like the big kid that got his Switch taken.
Oh,
then
yeah.
he beat the
And he
fuck out
pretty
of
much
him.
like
murdered
he almost
that.
killed
Yeah.
that lady,
Yeah.
and she was like in critical condition.
Yeah,
Okay, you know what? I almost think that there should be a no taking away their stuff rule. If the kid decides, all right, I'm gonna be on my phone in class, all right, then you're gonna miss out on this lesson. You're gonna be stupid or whatever.
You're gonna be
Yes.
stupid?
Yeah.
Yes, because the intrinsic
Because
value
you're not
always
learning-
works with
Because
children.
think about it. If you just let the kids do whatever they want, right?
What if it's an academic game?
Ooh, exactly. Because the thing is, they could be sucky at school, but they could be winning at life. You know, what if they're on their phone doing something? whatever?
Okay, that's a fair
Because
thing.
here's the thing.
No,
It
we're
should
disagreeing.
be
If they're
like-
on Coinbase?
Like, it makes sense. It makes
Line up
sense
all the
to
woo.
take away their stuff if they're not focusing. But dude, honestly, some kids just let them fucking be a class clown, whatever, do whatever.
Okay,
because
well then,
if you don't learn, then that's on you. You know.
Yeah.
What
if
about,
it's
what about
disruptive?
controlling
If it's
the class?
disruptive,
Exactly.
then-
Good job.
Yeah, how about like right now it's no
So
phones
weak.
time, and then someone just goes, not for me, and then you go, if they refuse to give it up, rather than make a whole shit about it, can't you just go, all right, welcome to your first F of the term?
Yes. Yeah. They
And
can
just,
they can just
fail
say,
them.
all right, if
Yeah.
you're not focusing in class, then you put it on their
Yeah,
score.
you should just.
You
give
don't
it
have
up.
to. You don't have to take away their phone. You know what I
Right,
mean?
that doesn't make sense to
It
me
doesn't
either. It's
help
like just
them want to
fail
learn
them.
Yeah.
because then they're just gonna be like, man, fuck, I hate this teacher. Then it makes them more negative. You
Just
know?
fail them.
But I
Make
think
but
they'll
then
hate the
it's-
teacher if they get the F.
Right,
too.
but they know that it's on them versus you taking away their stuff and then fucking up the teacher.
But that's still on them
You know?
too.
Nah, dude,
Yeah.
school teaches people how to conform, and conformity is
Yeah.
not the way we
Okay.
roll.
Well, then that student is teaching other students to conform and play games. So the next day that the teacher walks into class, it's just a whole classroom.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, but then
Here's the
the
thing,
and
thing
then
is-
next thing you know,
Set
the
a
pool's
precedent.
closed.
No, that's not technically true because the kids that are like they follow the rules, they're gonna want to learn. You know what I mean? Not the whole
It's
class
called
is not
peer
gonna
pressure.
be
Well,
Have you
okay,
ever felt
those are the two extremes, but there's gonna be kids that are like on the fence.
right.
And then
right.
those are like, oh well, you know, so and so did it. I'm gonna do the same thing.
No, okay. So what I think is you should still have the rule of no phones, but for the kids that don't
some
follow
kids.
those rules, like if you know that it's kind of like risky to take it away and you get hurt, it's like, all right, fine. Just
Why
have your
bother
phone.
with the risk?
Exactly.
Right.
It depends
Just-
on the percentage.
Yeah.
If 80% of the class is good, all right, we're good. You know.
I think you gotta force kids to doing things that they don't want to do all the time.
You do.
But how do you force them?
I could see that.
But like, you have to put them in an environment that like they just have. Like sometimes, I think kids don't know what's good for them sometimes. You know what I mean? So the
Yes.
simple fact of them like,
Yeah.
you can't be on your phone all the time, jerk. Like, what do you think this is?
What if it's a
Right.
Playboy magazine? Does the
And
teacher have
that-
the right to take it away?
Ooh.
Yeah, well, different context.
Because you can't have both. You can't have it both ways.
Backtracking.
They either
Right.
can be allowed to take everything away,
Yeah.
or they can't be allowed. It can't be like, oh, this is okay and that's not.
Ooh, I don't
So
know.
if a kid brings a Playboy magazine,
Then you call their parents.
but you let them keep the Playboy magazine,
Hold
and
on.
while you're calling the
Yeah.
parents, they're like, hey, look at this. Hey,
what you do
hey.
is
You definitely
write
confiscate
a
the
report.
Playboy
Yeah,
magazine
you're
and you keep it
supposed
for
to
yourself.
confiscate it, but let's say it's the situation where you're gonna get your ass beat, then you know what I mean.
But I
Like,
don't
what
think
are
the
you gonna do?
teachers knew that they were
Of
going to
course,
get pepper
but
sprayed.
now
or,
with
you know.
these articles coming out, it's like, as a teacher, if you know this, would you even want to take it away? Like,
That's when the teacher's going to be like, this is why we need to carry guns.
uh-oh, and
That's
shoot the
what's
student.
going to happen.
I'm
No,
gonna
so it's like, hey, give me your phone.
Out of her hand.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Oh my god.
No phones.
That'd be a cool teacher. That'd be a cool.
That's Wyatt Earp.
Do you think it's gonna be the case where like, okay, this is what you're signing up as for like a teacher? This
Yeah.
is what you sign up for. The risk of being hurt by
I mean,
your own
some
students.
Now it is. Now it is.
No, some teachers sadly do know where they're teaching.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But also, I agree with like, if you know it's going to escalate to an unnecessary level, then some teachers do just call the principal and they go, hey,
Yeah.
this is getting out of hand. I need them out of the class.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been completely kicked out of classes
Bad
and
prevention.
forbidden from taking that course
Right.
in my school just because I mouthed off.
Yeah,
I didn't even have anything.
yeah,
but
yeah.
like, this is like,
I do got to ask though. So let's say like the teacher in your guys' assessment, they call the principal, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a good thing. But what more is the principal going to do any different than
I think
the teacher?
the principal can permit you to fail that student on the spot.
well, no, there's
Yeah.
that. But, like, wouldn't the principal just come and take the phone away?
I think the key thing is
No.
just removing
No,
them
I don't
out of
think
the
so.
class.
Yeah, they would just
Yeah,
be
yeah,
gone
yeah,
from
yeah,
the room.
And then
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
just eliminates the distraction. Kids can now focus.
Because if
and then now
they
that sets an example.
and if a
Right.
student doesn't buy your threat because you're just the teacher, but if the principal's there to go, yeah, actually you are failed from this class now,
Yeah.
then that's
Yeah.
pretty.
They'll
heavy.
take it. The
Fails in
other
the class
students
is
will take
good.
it more
Because
seriously.
this girl
yeah.
still came to school, so she cares a little bit. So it is
Yeah.
like if you're just gonna act that way, then don't go to school at all.
Right. Right.
Then you
go
might
to,
as
go
well.
to the continuation school.
Yeah,
It's like
During high school, yeah.
what I learned
Yeah,
is
high
like
school. Yeah.
growing up is a few of my friends actually just dropped out of high school, and then when I got older, it's like, yeah, you know what, school really isn't for everybody, and you don't
Yeah.
have to go to school, even though you know you should or whatever. But
But those are one of those things, though. In retrospect, you can say like, oh yeah, this person, like Zuckerberg, dropped out of like Harvard, was it? He dropped out, and you're like, see, you don't need to go to Harvard. But that's all in retrospect.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that's like this big of an anomaly. Yeah.
But
Right,
if you
right,
look at all the other
Right.
people that dropped out, you know.
you
Also,
still
they
have to
were
apply
geniuses.
yourself. Yeah.
right.
This is not a genius action. It's not like, oh,
It's
Bill,
not.
Bill Gates pepper sprayed his
Yeah.
teacher too.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they didn't do
Maybe-
any of that shit.
Yeah, maybe
That we
they
know of.
require a different kind of schooling, you know, like the Mutant Academy or
Well,
something.
I think that's where it gets weird because it's like when you think of let's kick out all the bad students, and then they just end up being low quality citizens of their areas, and then they could have been maybe saved if they stayed in school. Like what? That
I
argument's
mean,
strange.
this made it, in this
Yeah, yeah,
case,
yeah, yeah.
though,
That
it made
argument's
it
strange.
worse though, because then it brought that out of her. Now she's like, fucked for real.
But that's still going to be
Yeah.
in the scope of her life. It's still going to be a very small event.
Yeah.
But the continuation and like her repeating the same type of actions
Yeah,
over and over again
right.
are going to be, the consequences that she has to
Yeah.
deal with, right?
But
So-
did she get punished for what?
So
what
here's the
was
weird
sure.
thing. It
Well, I
says
hope.
Metro Nashville Public School said the student received some sort of discipline according to their handbook. I don't know what that
Wait,
means.
what?
Every article I looked up said that same statement. So
That means
I don't even know if they kicked her out.
They probably didn't do anything because they probably side with like the teacher should have taken the phone. But I'm also questioning how the teacher took the phone away.
Also, yeah, maybe that is policy.
Because the other thing too is that at a certain point in everyone's life, we have to learn and how to adapt to not getting our way.
100%.
Right? But
That's
this
very
girl,
true, yeah.
this girl decided I didn't get my way. This is how I'm going to react, and I think this is okay.
And you got to nip that shit in the
Right.
bud.
Yeah.
And so
Immediately.
because she left got the pepper spray, and then came back.
Yeah.
It wasn't like she had it right here and it was just like, oh,
How do you-
yeah.
She had time to think and process what she was going to do, and then she came back. And that, if she's not correct, if they didn't punish her like properly or proportionally, however you want to say it, she's going to learn that, hey, okay, I went too far, but I can retaliate. I just can't do pepper spray.
Yeah.
You know,
Or she goes, nothing happened. I'm gonna keep doing that shit.
Dude,
Yeah.
because what if in her mind, this is like, I'm getting justice. This teacher's always been messing with me,
That's
blah,
true,
blah,
yeah.
blah. So in
Yeah.
her mind, it's like, I'm doing the right thing. What if that's
It's
the
also
case?
when you have to consider who her peers are.
Yeah.
And they might be like, oh, you're badass. Like,
Yeah.
that might be a
that's true.
compliment on another
That's
side.
true. Like,
Exactly.
oh, you're
You know?
rebellious or whatever.
Like, yeah, you got
know?
a nation of people that are
Yeah.
like, what a
You
garbage
showed
person.
him,
you're in
yeah.
our,
but-
you're in our
yeah.
group now.
Yeah.
Or like you're our leader.
That's
now.
cred for someone
Right,
else's circle.
right.
You never know.
So there's a lot of things involved.
yeah.
Dang,
The
that's
biggest
so-
thing is if you introduce fountain pens to kids, none of this would happen. Yeah. No?
The main
That's
thing
not
too
it?
is that like it takes so many different things to create this person that even thinks of doing that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it ain't like she's
yeah.
just a normal average person that
Right.
just snapped. Like
Right.
Because
Man, my parents would beat my ass.
Dude, they
Yeah.
murdered
They
me.
heard
Yeah.
you
Dude,
do
that's
something
crazy.
like that.
But also
Yeah.
for like the concept of school, right? Like as obviously flawed as it is, it's showing that okay, for X amount of period of time, I showed up and I kept coming to this place. This is my body of work over a period of time, and I proved that I could do this for extended period of time.
Yeah.
Like that's what these kids are trying to learn. Like that's the long game. And
it is a long game. Yeah.
right. And while you're in it, you're like, dude, fuck this. This is a waste of
course.
time. Of course.
Yeah.
But when you look back on it, you're like, okay, it was probably a good idea that like I learned to do that because
Right,
once
yeah.
kids or just like young adults are just left up to do whatever they want and have complete freedom, if you don't have all these like, I guess safeguards built into how
Yeah.
you do anything, you're gonna lose your fucking mind.
I think that makes all the difference is that, yeah, you can look at school and go, that was bullshit, but you're looking at it from the perspective of having completed it.
Yeah.
If you look at it from having failed it and say it's
Yeah,
bullshit,
yeah.
your word is worth a lot less.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's like, yeah, you still did it, but it was
Right.
shit.
And also the argument is too, right? What was she doing on her phone? If she's working on her small business or something, like if she's doing drop shipping from Etsy, then okay, cook,
Exactly,
whatever.
cook,
But if
yeah.
you're just on TikTok because you just want to watch TikTok, then okay, well, it might be reasonable to say, yeah, you
or
shouldn't
if
have
you're
that
just being
fucking phone.
defiant just to say no, yeah.
like
right.
it's like
I think when you said completed, that's what gets overlooked a lot with like school and college. Because like, oh, you don't need college. Okay, it could be argued both ways.
Yeah.
But the fact that you completed something,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
it took 4 years, 7 years, 8 years,
And it was difficult, yeah.
yeah, and that lets you know when you get a hard task at work or in life.
Life, yeah.
I've completed something. I can. You may not consciously be aware and think like, oh yeah, I completed college. I can do this too. No, but you just know how to get things done.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
A lot of
As-
things in life are bullshit. You got to get through it.
as someone who's hated college and I was like, this is a waste of time. All the classes that I went to, I felt like I had such a bad attitude about
Where
it.
did you go to school?
I went to Northridge and I studied kinesiology. And it was like, in retrospect, I'm glad I fucking did it. But during the time, I was complaining about it constantly, just being a fucking brat about it, right?
Yeah.
The fact that I got an opportunity to go and the fact that like my sister was helping me pay for college, like, you know what I mean? It's like things like that.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like being a little idiot about it.
Right.
But looking back 5-10 years, you're like, this has helped me way more than it's hurt me.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Sure,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
It's a way more of a positive effect
Right.
than a
Right,
negative
right.
effect by far.
yeah.
And all this stuff during the time, I was like, what do I have to do this? Down the line, it goes, I'm glad I did.
I mean, the development and the perseverance is, you can't really compare it to a lot of
Yeah.
things because it's something that you genuinely do not see the good in.
Of course.
Yet you can still come out on the other side of
Yeah.
it. That means a lot. Most shit now, when you're an adult and out of school, you'll just stop doing it.
Yeah.
You'll just go, oh, this is bullshit, and just not do it anymore.
Right.
Yep.
But that raises your threshold so far for like what you can deal with.
This is why Karate Kid was such a poignant movie. The wax on, wax off.
That was a documentary.
It was, but then I feel like when I say documentary, you guys don't take it seriously.